Coming up, we're going to be talking about the future of Eternals and much more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with talking about some bad news for Marvel's Eternals, because it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a second film anytime soon. So the original film was released back in 2021 and didn't do that well at the box office, just under 500 million. But we do have to say, it was pretty much kind of at the tail end of the pandemic. Movies weren't taking a huge amount, so yeah, I think those numbers, you kind of got to look at it a little bit weird. In some way as well, the film kind of had a bit of a weird reactions. Some critics didn't like it, some audiences didn't like it. I personally really thought it was good. I liked it, feeling very different. New characters I was completely unaware of, never read any of the Eternals comics, and I thought the overall sort of feel of the film was just refreshing, and I did like that. Now, at the end of that film, they kind of set up that, Eternals would return and set up also maybe some additions with the Blade movie. However, here we are, over 3+ years later. We have not seen or heard from the Eternals since. Though, looks like there can be a little bit of a sneak peek at what might have happened to that big celestial that was in the water, because in the Brave New World Captain America trailer, people have been able to spot that was in the background, so maybe they're going to reference it and go on it. But it doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. Over the week, while promoting Deadpool and Wolverine, Kevin Feige has been he got asked about it, and he pretty much said it's not in development. It's not happening right now. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Eternals 2 isn't going to eventually happen. But I think with Marvel drastically cutting back its schedule, there's a lot of projects that probably were going to happen that are now maybe not. Maybe they didn't feel the reaction to the characters was what they wanted. Let's be honest, I doubt this film really sold a lot of action figures and pop vinyls and other merchandise to kind of make it worthwhile doing. And yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we might not be seeing where Star Fox, or aka Harry Styles, who is Thanos' brother, where he turns up. Whether or not these characters turn up in other films, or whether maybe in the next saga they go, actually, yeah, we'll continue on the story. The only trouble with this is all the actors are getting older and stuff. I kind of feel like, if they did want to do another one and they wanted to wait a few more years, suddenly then we're like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. I would like them to at least finish the story that they set up. But I think there's going to be a lot of characters that got sort of introduced in the last phases 4 and 5 that maybe we're not going to see as much of going forward, because I think they just introduced too many new characters. We didn't connect with them, and Eternals is one of the ones that they've just kind of earmarked and gone, yeah, if we're only going to be making 2 or 3 movies a year, maybe now Eternals 2 is like much lower down the schedule in terms of what they want to do. Maybe they do it in the future, but right now, no Eternals 2 is coming. But obviously you can watch the first one now. Hopefully those characters maybe pop up in a Disney Plus series or a movie here or there, but I don't know. I can't even see them popping up in Avengers or anything like that. But hopefully they explain what's going on, at least in some of the movies and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. But let us know. Would you like to see an Eternals 2? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about a brand new British original series called In Vogue the 90s, which tells the definitive story of the fashion industry of the 90s through the eyes of Vogue editors. Packed with some of the most influential names of fashion, film and politics, envision the 90s as a thrilling journey across continents and through 10 years that changed fashion forever. Hollywood, the grunge, the Met, the Gala, the globalization of Americanized fashion, hip-hop. Each episode in this 6-part series centers on the defining 90s moment. With this brand new series, we're going to be getting the first 3 episodes on Friday the 13th of September. The following week, on the 20th of September, we'll be getting the additional 30 episodes. So this is going to be out on Disney Plus here in the UK and in many other countries around the world, while in the US it's going to be on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. So if you're into your fashion, definitely going to want to check this one out. I'm not going to lie, this one was very much not in my wheelhouse. I wear t-shirts and shorts. That's pretty much my entire range of stuff. So fashion is not really for me. But if you're into this, give it a go. I'll give an episode a go, see how it goes. But on that note, guys, let me know in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about FX series What We Do in the Shadows, which is going to be returning for its 6th and final season this coming Halloween season. In this 6th and final season of the Emmy-nominated comedy, the guys head out on an adventure in the workforce where they visit New Hampshire, go on a human dinner party, visit a fate, and also conjure a demon, all while trying to find their place and their purpose in this crazy mixed-up world. The new series will debut on the 21st of October on FX. All of the episodes will be available the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States, and the series will also be coming to Disney Plus internationally. Not sure if it's going to be the same date or a little bit later, but this series is a little bit strange. Some old contracts are still in place, and obviously you can watch the first 5 seasons right now, Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the US, Disney Plus around the world. So if you're into this show, good news. Obviously it's you got lots of new episodes to watch, but obviously bad news, it's coming to an end. I've watched 1 episode, it didn't really kind of click with me, so I didn't really go much further. But obviously, if you enjoyed this show, let me know what you like about it and whether or not I should maybe go back and try the second episode to see how I get on with it. Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. In our question of the day, which comes from James, who says, remember that they were going to do a film version of Disney's Aladdin on Broadway that they've already filmed years ago? Is that not happening anymore? This one's really strange. This one comes up constantly in the comments and on social media of people asking about it, because it kind of got reported. Some people even being like, oh, it's coming. It's like dates and stuff randomly pop up on the internet. Disney has never officially announced it. It's never been on the slate. Now, I don't know if this is because maybe Aladdin is now out. I think it's on a tour around the US, so they maybe don't want to hit impact on the sales. But yeah, I really wish they would put it out on Disney Plus. I think it's a great musical. I was lucky enough to see it at the West End a few years ago, so I think this kind of thing was there. And also, I mean, it's kind of this weird thing with these kind of shows. You know, they filmed it properly. I don't know why they just don't do this more often and kind of turn it into like an annual thing that they do. But there must be some reason for it. But yeah, it is a little bit odd. I'm going to jump into a second question, because we had a lot of comments yesterday about the fact of just me having a bit of a rant about there not being a huge amount of stuff coming to Disney Plus in the US. We've also got another question here of the day from Matt, who says, I keep wondering if we will get a Disney Plus date on August the 8th, the day before D23 like we did in 2022. Then we could get some last minute titles announced, but surely they would have announced it by now, right? Not to mention, does Disney have enough new content ready to add by that date? Disney has also had a very light summer compared to 2022, 2023, and it's probably too soon for them to add Inside Out 2, especially when it's doing so well at the box office. Is it possible that Disney is simply done with Disney Plus Day as a concept? So yeah, I want to address Disney Plus Day. This thing is done. They didn't do it last year. It is, I think, to be honest, this was a Bob Chapek thing, and so obviously Iger doesn't really want to do it. I do think the idea of putting out one day with like multiple movies and multiple shows and adding lots of stuff is like, what was the purpose? Did it boost up subscriptions? Did it make more people check it out? That was the big thing as well. You know, did it get improved signups, or were they giving away too much stuff and people just signed up for a week and then buggered off? That's kind of the issue. Also, I mean, I think having a Disney Plus Day and having all the parks decked out in blue and having special access to get in early, there's definitely none of that happening this year for D23. They've already announced what they were doing on the Disneyland day before. Again, nothing Disney Plus Day. When I was there for last time, this is where I got this little hat. They were giving them all out for free. If you were there and you could get a little bit earlier, yeah, I don't think they really want to kind of go into this. Yeah, I think, and I think the trouble is as well with Disney Plus Day is people are expecting new announcements like they did a few years ago. And just as a whole, you know, maybe they just found that it just didn't work on a fundamental level of it just didn't improve signups and didn't improve engagement and all the rest of it. I think the focus is on D23 this year. And yeah, I think as a whole, Disney Plus, they're in a very different place for it. And I don't know, it would be nice for them to kind of acknowledge it, but now it kind of feels more like they want to, you know, push other things like Deadpool, for example, where he's popping up in Disneyland Paris and over at California Adventure. They're just focused on those kind of things. And I don't think a Disney Plus Day kind of, in some ways, fits with what they're trying to do. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a nice little thing. But also, it's expensive. You know, you've got to put on all this stuff. You're giving away all these hats and posters and pins and stuff. And if you're doing it at Disneyland Paris and in Hong Kong, and you're doing it in California and in Orlando, plus they were doing it on the cruise lines, plus they were putting on events, it was costing a lot of money. And you can really see Disney has drastically cut back the amount of events and stuff that they're doing. They're not doing anywhere near as many as they used to. The only time really at the minute, it feels like Deadpool and Wolverine kind of is the only exception I've seen really for over a year where they've been doing a real heavy push on kind of sending them around the world. But yeah, I just don't think it works, which is a shame. I thought it was a great idea, but even, you know, like, I mean, yeah, last time I was Disney Plus Day, I met with James, who used to do the podcast with, and we had a great day at Disneyland, and it was just before D23, and it was a great day, but there wasn't a massive amount of stuff there. But again, it's just cost. And did it work? Did it not? And I obviously think it didn't, because they haven't brought it back, and I don't think it'll be returning. As regards to Inside Out 2, that thing's still making money. I still think, why rush it to Disney Plus? I think that's why we've not heard about Win or Lose yet, because Inside Out is still doing too well. I don't think Inside Out 2 is going to drop probably on Disney Plus. I don't think it's going to be until probably like maybe Thanksgiving, November time. I think they'll have it out in September, maybe on digital, have it there for 4 to 6 weeks, and then put it onto Disney Plus like they did with Wish and Indiana Jones. I don't see it being rushed like they've done with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. They just don't need to. You've still got a long way of the summer yet. I know some kids obviously in America will probably be going back to school pretty soon, but here in the UK, they only just broke up. They've literally, I think, they broke up like last week. They've still got the whole of August yet. So I don't think they're going to be rushing it or anywhere yet, because there's still a lot of kids off around the world for school holidays. But I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. If you've got a great question, drop it in. And if it's good, I will pick it out for tomorrow's video. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon. And tomorrow's video might be a little bit later, because I'm going to go see Deadpool and the Wolverine in the first thing in the morning. Can't wait. I've literally just watched Deadpool 1 and 2 this morning, so I'm ready to go. On that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Later.